O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Sultan's choice for excitement, and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Where are we at? Is that better? Okay, there we go. All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll. It is a Monday, November 3rd, 2025, day number 18,920 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. You can probably add a couple thousand more days to that. Also, day number 8,704 since the Canes were national title winners, and day number 133 since Bitcoin is over 100,000. So 1 out of 3 is pretty good. 1 out of 3, you're in the Hall of Fame. Okay. What are you in today's baseball if you bat 333? Because 233 is like normal in baseball nowadays. It's like weird. Anyway. That was one of the best World Series I have ever seen in my life. And I think baseball nowadays kind of sucks. So it's pretty amazing that the sport that I don't really enjoy that much anymore produced one of the best World Series ever. So anyway, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I got to tell you, I'm in a weird place that I've never been in. Actually, with the whole thing with the Dolphins, basically, and even talking Dolphins and all that. It's just I'm in a bad place. I got to tell you, I'm in a really, 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 really bad place with the Miami Dolphins. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to get out of it, to be quite honest. It's going to be tough for me, and because I don't do sports talk with shtick, which is what a lot of people do out there. You know what I mean? And they like to kind of play with your emotions and carry you one way and then take you the other way and mislead you and all that kind of stuff. Not me. I'm not that dude. I'm like you guys. I live the life. I want all of my teams to succeed, but we know that you and I know that we don't have any control over any of this shit. And so you kind of get to a point where it's just it's disturbing, and I'll tell you how twisted I am right now, where I'm at. Okay. Example, Dolphins and Canes. I'll give you the comparisons where I'm at with two. Both are led by the wrong people. Okay. Dolphins led by Stephen Ross and the Canes led by Mario Cristobal. Okay. Mario Cristobal proves to us that he can do a lot of things perfectly. The only thing he can't do is on game day, he's a brain fart. You know what I mean? He's not the guy. I'm convinced of that already. We're 4 years in. We've watched enough of this. We've seen the same guy, all that kind of shit. Okay? So I'm done pretty much with Mario Cristobal. I'm just pretty much at the point where he's just not the guy. But it is what it is. They're going to be stuck with him for 2 more years. And then I look at the Dolphins, and they're led by Stephen Ross. And so on one end, I give no hope
to the Dolphins at all. Under Stephen Ross, I am at a point where the Dolphins are done, bro. To me, none of this stuff matters. I don't care how many picks you think you have or what you think you're going to get at GM or head coach. With that clown leading you, and we'll talk about plenty of things throughout the show. So I have no hope for the Dolphins. None whatsoever. I have all the hope for the Canes. Why? Because you're only going to have to tolerate Cristobal for maybe another year or two because the administration cannot swallow that much. But if the administration is willing to spend money, which it looks like it looks like they've got the NIL, right? Okay, then you're going to get a really good coach at the University of Miami after you fire Cristobal. Why? Because you have the NIL package. You're in South Florida where there's a ton of talent. And the ACC is another crappy conference, as I've called it for many years. That's what the ACC stands for, by the way. Another crappy conference. Don't let anybody else tell you anything else. So then, why would you take a job in the Big Ten or the SEC? It's going to be really hard to get to the playoffs. Just go to the ACC, take the job at UM. You have all the money that everybody else has in the NIL. It's just you're not run by Mario, conservative, tight ass, play, to lose football, Cristobal. So I have a lot of hope for the University of Miami. So I know I may have to go through another year or two of this buffoonery with Cristobal, and eventually I'll go, okay, we can eat the last 2 years of his deal and let's get him out of here and let's go get a new coach and all that kind of stuff. So we're pretty close. But the Dolphins, I see, what are we off to? Another rebuild to nowhere land and all that? Like, no. So I'm in a really, really bad place with the Dolphins. I'm in a place that I've never been with the Dolphins. And so I look at the Canes, and at least there is hope there because all you got to do is switch the coach, get the right coach, you'll get the right recruits, you get a guy that's forward thinking, and you move on. So I see some hope for the Canes down the line. Not with Mario, but if they're set and trying to win, then they just need to get the right guy in place because they've got everything else. The talent's all around you in South Florida. The talent's all around the state. Then you can go sprinkle in and pick up everywhere else. You could fix this easily. You can't fix Stephen Ross. You can't fix Stephen Ross. So it is what it is. And so that's why I'm in a bad place. But I do give the Canes hope, and I give the Dolphins no hope. That's where I'm at right now, pretty much with both those. Anyway, welcome aboard. Good morning. Hope you all are doing well. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir, as always, for your generosity. I appreciate you on Cash App. He just says, have a fantastic day. You are absolutely amazing, my man. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation, of course. And you can send in your questions, comments, your thoughts, your insults, all kinds of good stuff. We appreciate it either way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else do we have here? I see Oscar Rojas says, Big O, the kid is a great guy, but often injured, and he made like one or two big plays in his time here. Good luck to him, but not sorry to see him. Whatever, man. I don't really care. You trade Jaelen Phillips for a late third, early fourth, however you want to look at it, because the Eagles will be at the back end of the third round. Great trade overall for an often injured player. So what? Oh, we have 3 of them now, right, for 2026? So what, dude? You know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything to me. Just doesn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? I don't get excited about, you know what I'm excited for? I'm excited for Jaelen Phillips. I'm excited that Jaelen Phillips, who's an often injured guy, is healthy right now and will have one shot at a title this year, because I don't know how long he'll stay together in one piece because he has injuries. But I hope he plays his ass off, which you know he will, and he's surrounded by a whole bunch of talent. So now he's going to look even better. It's going to be less of a burden on him. Fangio knows him. He'll have success. He gets out of this shithole and terrible franchise. He goes to a great franchise. He's a great kid. He's not going to have a long career. You and I know that. So God bless him, dude. I'm rooting for Jaelen Phillips now. I'm rooting for Jaelen Phillips. I hope he gets his championship, and I hope he enjoys it, because being here gets you nowhere. Ask Jason Taylor. Ask Dan Marino. Do that. Go ahead. Ask them. You know, there's a lot of guys we can do that with. You can ask Tim Bowens. You know, you're better off like Sam Madison. Go somewhere else and you win a title. Go have more success somewhere else. God bless you, dude. You know what I mean? So for Jaelen Phillips, I'm excited. I'm excited for Jaelen Phillips, because he gets out of a shithole of an organization that they don't know what they're doing. They have no direction. He really has no future here. You could hang on to him and maybe sign him to a short deal or something. But to me, I'm happy for Jaelen Phillips. To me, I don't care about the third rounder, because I don't know what you're going to do with that thing. So it doesn't matter to me until you show me that you actually turned it into a player, and years later the player's a hell of a player and helping you out. Okay, then great. But for now, it's just another stupid pick. They've had lots of picks over the years. Again, sorry, you know. You know, to me, you're a silly little Dolphins fan if you're just thinking, oh, we got another pick. For what? What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? I'm sorry. What are you doing with it? What does it mean? Doesn't mean shit. It means good for Jaelen Phillips. He gets out of a shit season that's going nowhere with a shit franchise that's going nowhere. Now he gets to showcase his skills. Maybe by the end of the year, when he's a free agent, he'll look even better because he was playing in a place that actually knows what they're doing. So that's the way I look at it now. That's how I'm going to look at things for the Miami Dolphins. You know, I can't do anything about it. You know, you don't show me anything. What am I going to get excited about at the draft again? Why? Why would I get excited about a draft? Why would I get excited about the next head coach? Why would I get excited about the next general manager? Why? Why would I get excited about anything that Stephen Ross is doing? So I'm just not ready to get on that stupid hamster wheel. I'm done with it. You know what I mean? I'm done with it. And that's just kind of where I'm at with them. So, you know, Oscar, celebrate, bro. You got a third rounder. I'm celebrating that Jaelen Phillips is in a much better place than I am, because I'm stuck with a shit team and a shit owner. That's the way I look at it. Brooklyn Rob, good morning, sir. He says, I can't hate this trade for a third and a player in Phillips' injury history or expiring contract is a win. I'm sure more trades are coming. Yeah, I'm sure they are. It's a fire sale now at this point. Somebody else took over, and who knows where they're going now. So, Edward Thurston Howe, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He goes, I know you like Jaelen Phillips, Big O. You met his dad in California. The Dolphins didn't make the mistake of keeping Phillips and giving him a big contract for an often injured player like Tua. Yeah, I get it, but it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me, dude. It just doesn't matter to me at all. Doesn't matter to me. I don't really give a shit about the third rounder. Doesn't matter at all. Unless you do something with it, none of it matters. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for Jaelen because he has a short shelf life. And you're right. It would have been risky for the Dolphins to give him some kind of a short deal and bank on his future and all that. So now you can hopefully trade Chubb. I still don't know if you're going to get anything for Judon, but you probably, I think you keep Judon so he plays opposite of Chop for the rest of the year. And, you know, poor Chop, again, he won't have somebody opposite of him. You know what I mean? That's why I wanted to keep Jaelen. So you trade Chubb and you have somebody opposite of Chop because you kind of need two pass rushers. If you're only going to play one guy and they only have to prepare for one guy, because nobody's going to be afraid of Matthew Judon. You know what I mean? Give me a break. So eventually if you trade Chubb, yeah, you get to play Chop, but Chop doesn't, it's just, they do stupid things on this team. It's just, whatever, man. It is what it is. You know, I can't help it. You know what I mean? I'm in a really, 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 really bad place with the Dolphins. Really bad place with the Dolphins. You know, it's going to take a miracle for them to get me out of the spot I am with that franchise. You know, so it's kind of the way it is. Adolfo says, I hear that your best owner is going to keep your best coach, McD. It's in the headlines of the show today. I put the proof why. What was it that I put on the headline today on the show? Let me see. What was it? Where Stephen Ross proves he's done with McD. Okay. And to show you why that story is a load of shit. And this is, you know, stuff that I might have a little bit more insight than people inside the building or around or people that are on the build. I mean, people that are around the team from inside the building. What Stephen Ross did is he's pissed that he gave McDaniel a long-term contract, and now he's got this entire mess. So this mess is going to get worse. This is an unorganized coach. He knows it. He sees it already. Okay. And the part that everybody's missing in all of this is that the move that was made at the end of last week, the shocker that was made, proves that Stephen Ross didn't want to put Chris Grier through this. Stephen Ross, by what I've gathered, appreciates Chris Grier a hell of a lot more than McD. So what Stephen Ross did was he did Chris Grier a favor. He cares and loves the guy so much. Think about this, okay? That he fired him. And he said, yeah, this thing is going in a bad direction. You've taken enough heat already. Get out. Go enjoy your family. You know, we'll part ways as friends. Boom, boom, boom. You get your money. Whatever he has, $20 million guaranteed. He's smiling and off into the sunset. Okay? And now he puts a guy in place to start tearing down the team for an incompetent coach that is going to have less and less talent. So now that coach has to go through the hell of finishing this season as a lame duck coach that has no chance in coming back whatsoever. And they're throwing out all these rumors that they're going to trade all these players. Do you think it's coming from McD? No, it's coming from the personnel and the ownership, that they want to dump a bunch of shit. So what they've done is they're rearranging chairs on the Titanic, and they've got Mike McDaniel steering the Titanic right into the iceberg. Like, we're in the middle of the fog and all that kind of stuff, and things are really bad. Now things are going to get worse because players know he's toast, everyone's toast, they're planning for vacations. This is going to get ugly. So what he actually did was save Chris Greer's ass from having to answer any more questions, from facing any more heat, from making any more moves, that would be questioned or whatever. Now it's all on Champ, who's, again, just an interim, a guy you're going to get rid of, so he can then take that heat and be the lightning rod for whatever trades that are either good or bad or whatever are discussed. And then Mike McDaniel, with his contract that he's going to have so many years left and millions of dollars left, Ross is like, well, mother effer, you're going to finish out the season in this mess. What he did was a favor for the guy he actually likes. Okay? The other guy that he likes less, he left him to go with the sinking ship. That's what everybody's missing. There's no way they bring back McDaniel. There's zero chance they bring back McDaniel. Why would you? It's kind of stupid at this point. And they will dump Tua on June 1st in a split deal. Ross doesn't care, and they will move on. That's what's going to end up happening. They're going to break free from everything. This is going to be a clean break of everything. But they left McDaniel to steer it right into the iceberg. That's what they did. That's what people are completely missing out, dude. Okay? That dude cared so much about Chris Greer that he got him out of there before. And it makes no sense. You're supposed to do it the other way. You're supposed to fire the coach, but he didn't want to put Chris Greer through firing the coach, then putting other people in place, and then trying to save the season and save all of that. Why? He cared about him that much that he let him go. And he let the other guy stay here and have to deal with the bullshit. Because Chris Greer is fine now. You never has to answer a question for anybody. Nothing, dude. He's gone. He's gone. He's got the guaranteed money in the bank. He doesn't have to take a job as a consultant, as a scout next year, as nothing if he doesn't want to. He can stay out of football for the rest of his life if he wants to. He can get back 2 years later, whatever he wants to do. But they actually, what everybody's missing on this one is that Stephen Ross proved how much he likes Chris Greer by doing what he did. Okay? Because if he didn't like him, he would have put him in the middle of the firing of the coach, the fire sale, all of that kind of thing, and put him through the hell of doing all of that and answering questions and all that. And he did none of that. Because if he makes big trades, then he has to answer questions. Why'd they make the trade? This, that, whatever. I don't know. I would imagine Champ Kelly's going to address the Jaelen Phillips trade. Is what it is. Now, scot-free of all of that, dude. Doesn't have to worry about any of that. So that's how you have to look at it. That's what's really going on. So all that stuff about McD being brought back and all, that would be the ultimate PR nightmare. People would drop their season tickets because they would know, why am I going to invest money when I know it's a lame duck season because they're bringing back McDaniel because of Tua's last year? No, dude. They've got to turn this thing over right away so they can start reselling the Dolphins and get you back on the hamster wheel. That, we're going to do our best to get it all right, and we're going to get the right quarterback, and we're going to get the right GM, and we're going to get the right head coach, and we're going to have the right attitude, and we're going to have the right culture, and we're not going to be dysfunctional, and You know the hamster wheel that you've been on. So this is the first step of it. And so many have misread it completely. Okay. Stephen Ross actually likes Chris Greer a lot more than Mike McDaniel, and that's why he did that. Anyway, what can I tell you except the folks at All Year Cooling know how to get it done, baby. From Vero Beach to Homestead, also in Naples. Call our friends out there, open 7 days a week so they can take care of you service-wise. Free repair estimates, same-day installations. Financing is available. Extended warranties. They've been around for 52 years, man. Think about that. 52 years. That's a long time there at All Year Cooling, getting it done, man. And, of course, Tommy and the folks have been at it. 888-204-5554. Tell them that I sent you over 350,000 satisfied customers. Go to the website, allyearcooling.com. You can get a free estimate and tell them that Big O sent you. 888-204-5554. All Year Cooling and Plumbing. By the way, #1 in the state of Florida when it comes to AC and plumbing service. All right. Don't forget, you can also visit our friends at Caneswear. Use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off online. If you order over $99, you will get free shipping. Friends at Caneswear.com. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. And let me see what we got here. Stephen Baker, thank you on Venmo. Says, why is McDaniel still here? I got a Buffalo fan that goes to my church that he listens to, and he says, trading for our coach to become their OC. I don't know about any of that shit. But all I can tell you is what I just told you. They needed to keep somebody here just for continuity purposes. They're paying the man a whole bunch of money to go away at the end of the year. Might as well suffer with the rest of them till the end. And this is going to be bad. This is bad because this guy's not very good as it is. And now being a lame duck coach, that's some scary stuff. Okay. Lame duck is going to be very interesting to see how he handles that. By the way, Bitcoin is at 106.4, dude. 106.4. It is what we call a sweet dip. Okay? 106.4. Love that. Wow. That is fan-freaking-tastic. That is a nice one. That is one of the sweet dips here, things going to 127. So that's like 20% you're going to climb. That is crazy. I like that. Not that I'm a financial advisor or anything like that kind of stuff. I know nothing. 106,283 right now. Wow. That's impressive. That is a sweet dip. Sweet dip. All right, what do we got here on the chat board? Let's see. What do we got? Shang Tu Sheng. Phillips goes to the Eagles. Yes, and he could become a good pass rusher there. Yeah, surrounded by other people. Thank you, Jimbo. I appreciate it. I don't know. I'm remembering correctly, but could it be possible that Ross's operation was the reason Caldwell did not want any part of coaching here? Well, he was he had a personal thing too go on, and then he left. A lot of people left. Chan Gailey was here for a bit and left, and Fangio was here for a bit and left, and it's kind of been a screwed up situation. I mean, we are talking about the owner that was. Can you bring up that tweet on my line there that shows them selling Jets gear? Go look at my Twitter feed and pull up the tweet we are talking about an owner that sold Jets gear at the Dolphin Pro Shop. Okay? Back in 2011. Here, I retweeted it and put it at the top now. Okay? Back in 2011, Armando Salguero was working, I think, for the Herald at that time. And he was always, the Dolphins guy. And he goes into the pro shop, and they've got a Jets shirt. So this is the owner of, the Miami Dolphins. That picture there, credit Armando Salguero, because he gets the love for that. He's the one that, and there's your, in the Dolphin shop. There's a lot of shit that's gone on over the years with this guy. From the stupid orange carpet to celebrating Tim Tebow. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you. And then all the other things that have gone on, Bullygate and Cam Cameron and Adam Gase and Flo and McDaniel. And, it's just, it's rough, man. It's rough. It is rough to kind of expect anything but incompetence, from this owner. Let's see. What else do we have? Being a Dolphin fan is kind of like being seasick. You got to puke first before you feel better. George Fernandez says, I think new Inter will be offered the job for next year. He will be stuck with McDaniel and Tua. Well, then, if you want, I don't believe that'll happen because that would be incredibly stupid, but that would be Stephen Ross. Here's the thing. And Sean, you can go back to my Twitter feed, por favor, and bring up the 2 tweets from last night, which have been posted this morning now. Let's talk about the Dolphin history. Let's go over it. And he'll pull up, let's go with the coaches. So you go from Wani to Saban, to Cameron, to Sperano, to Philbin, to Gase, to Flores, and to McDaniel. Okay? And Stephen Ross inherited Sperano, part of the whole Parcells group and all that buffoonery. But then he added Philbin, who was I think Philbin was going to be the next Don Shula, right? A young Don Shula. And then Gase, and then Flores and McDaniel. And what does he do now? Instead, he fires his GM, not the head coach, who has cost you games, a lot of games. Like you could have won 3 to 5 more games last year. Had nothing to do with the talent. And you fired the general manager, which is, again, I know why they did it. I understand his reasoning, but it's still odd. And then let's switch over for general managers, because we're celebrating now the firing of Chris Grier, aren't we? That's what we're doing now. So I put out another tweet on it, and they fire Randy Mueller. We celebrate. They fire Jeff Ireland. We celebrate. Oh, pots and pans, let's have a parade. They fired Dennis Hickey. We celebrate. They fire Mike Tannenbaum. We celebrate. They fire Chris Grier. We celebrate. What are we celebrating? I'm just wondering, what are we celebrating? I'd like to know, what are we celebrating? We celebrate the incompetent decisions that they constantly make because we're supposed to celebrate hoping for a better day, and it never comes. It's the weirdest thing, dude. It is the weirdest thing. And it is the definition of insanity. Because to think about it, so Tannenbaum and Greer I think it's Hickey, Tannenbaum, and Greer are his hires, and Philbin, Gase, Flores, and McDaniel are his hires. So what are we celebrating, dude? This is where I'm at right now as a Dolphins fan. I'm in a really, really difficult situation and a really ugly, ugly place because it looks like a hopeless place. It feels like a hopeless place. Like I don't feel hopeless with the Panthers because I watched them gradually get better and better and better and better and better. Even with the Heat, I disagree with the way they're going about their business nowadays, but shoot, 25 years of winning and finals, titles, and all, you're entitled to go through your valley. I can live with it, whatever, okay? We may disagree, whatever. In the end, you'll figure it out and you'll fix it and we can move on, but at least you've had success. So you're entitled to all of this valley that they're having. I'm good with that. But that's all you are with the Dolphins. You're in the abyss. You're not even in the valley. You're in the abyss. Because there are no peaks. So it's just kind of tough, dude. At least I know the crazy-ass Moss brothers are going to spend money. They don't really know exactly how to do it right, but, hey, they're trying, and they'll spend, and they'll at least get some wins. They'll get to the playoffs. Let's see what they do, see if they finally advance, but they're trying. You know, other places like the Canes, like I told you, I got hope there because you could get rid of Mario in a couple years, and if you're committed to the NIL and committed to all that, you'll be fine. You'll get a stud coach. That one, I think, is a lot easier, actually, to find. If you're the University of Miami, you can actually steal a coach. That's proven that you can see it there. And you can take them and bring them here, and then, you know, sky's the limit for that person. But in this case, with that owner, we're all hoping for dumb luck. Because when it comes to football, we're talking about a dumb. So when you're a dumbass and it comes to football, we're hoping for dumb luck to get us out of this funk. That's what we're rooting for. We're rooting for dumb luck. Because Stephen Ross has zero skill on how to run a real football team. Crazy, man. Absolutely insane. Anyway, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as you send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff, and we always appreciate that. Let's see. What else do we have? Ross has a good relationship with the Eagles owner. Tanking allows incompetence to flourish to lose games. Continues. Eagles will get another compensatory pick if they let Phillips go. Yep, that's right. But he has to also have a good year and all that. But they'll get him one anyways. Not a third, but they'll get, a later one. But they'll get something back. Either way, the Eagles made a great move for themselves. And the Dolphins, you have no idea what they did because they normally don't know what they're doing. So it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Let's see. What else do we have? That tweet proves to me that Ross is a closet Jets fan. Yeah. Sweet Baby Ray says, leaving on a cruise tomorrow, which means I will be missing the show this week. I will have a drink for the Big O in the middle of nowhere. Have several for me. Have several for me. That's what I'd like for you to have, several. Because, man, I'm in a bad place for the Dolphins. Bad place. Game over. Thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Miami is doomed. They're going to keep McDaniel and have to keep this interim GM due to no good GM candidates wanting McDaniel. I don't think that's going to be the case, dude. I think it's more what I told you. They're just going to let him drive the Titanic into the iceberg through the end of the year and then get rid of him and move on. It would be a PR nightmare. How do you have your sales staff and everything sell that you're bringing McDaniel back next year? Nobody wants to see McDaniel back next year. That would be stupid. Plus, it's only going to get worse as the year goes on. Guys are going to come up with injuries. Guys are going to come up with ways of not wanting to play and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know, folks. Let's see. Ty in the Bronx. Big O, remember extending Philbin back into the Minnesota win. That made no sense whatsoever. You beat a shitty team and they extend him. That's Stephen Ross. That is Stephen Ross. Nico says, I'm celebrating the fact that Greer failed to rebuild the franchise since 2019 from coaches to draft picks. You can celebrate. It doesn't matter. Everybody's failed. From Jimmy Johnson, from Don Shula, all the way through. So keep celebrating because that's all you keep. All we do is celebrate our failures. Ty in the Bronx says, a bunch of blind-ass fans, Big O. So sad. D. Mouse says, the thing you forgot, is that almost all those firings were all connected to each other. They've been our problem. Yeah, dude, What was Shula? What was Jimmy Johnson? Those two weren't connected. So, doesn't matter, dude. Saban wasn't connected to anybody. Was a failure. Dude, the Dolphins organization is just a failure. Just face it, dude. Just face it. The Dolphins organization is a failure. That's all. Back end of Robbie, Wanstead, and now Ross, all failures. That's it. All failures. That's just kind of, what are you going to do? So it is what it is. What else? Dolphin Dave. Yeah, Big O. He sucks. They all suck sometimes. You don't get it right. They never get it right. So it's not sometimes, it's not if, it's always one way. That's it. Always one way, and that's it. So, people think a Band-Aid is going to fix this team's cancer. Right. Exactly. And when you have Stephen Ross, it's really hard to fix it. It's just impossible. When you have bad ownership, it's really hard to get over. Look at you laugh about the Jets. How come you don't really look at it the same way here? You laugh about it with the Browns. How come you don't look at it the same way here? You laugh at it with Michael Jordan. Why didn't you look at it the same way here? Like, did anybody ever think that Michael Jordan was a threat as a general manager? It's actually funny to even say that line. Think about that. Like that's hilarious to say that line. Who would think that Michael Jordan would be even a threat as a general manager? Right? It's the same thing with the Dolphins. Same exact thing. There is no difference whatsoever. Zero. So, Josh, I don't like anything with the Dolphins. I mean, Stephen Ross made a decision. Why would I like it, my brother? So, I'll like it when they prove something. Then I'll like it. I think that's going to be my attitude from here on out. Until you prove something, then I'm just going to expect the worst. And I'll be better off that way. I'm not better off saying Once there was coach of the year in Chicago, maybe he learned something in his second go around. Saban, he's ready for this now after, being in college football for a while. We've done all of these things. You hire Phil Benoit, he looks like a serious guy, this, that, whatever. Oh, Flo, he's a disciplinarian. Oh, Mike McDaniel, he's got an innovative mind. We find little hooks to try to talk ourselves into saying that we think this person's going to be good. Oh, Adam Gase, he ran an offense with Peyton Manning that scored 55 touchdowns. Like, I can remember all the shit that we talked about every time we hire people and this and that, and where this one comes from and what this, and it's all a load of horse shit. So, Josh, I don't give a shit about the interim GM. While you have this owner, I can only expect bad decisions. That's it. That's just kind of where I am with this team. You know what I'm saying? Moody's Dental, now they make great decisions on a consistent basis. That's why you can visit them. Dade, 305-821-0231. Plantation, 954-692-6825. Moody's.dental, by the way, on Instagram. Jimbo says, now I'm really, really pissed. I was a season ticket holder for many years then and did not know that. Thank you, Big O, for sharing that pic of the Jets jersey in the pro shop. You didn't know that? Wow. Yep. One-Eyed Jack, Phillips is one of my favorite players. Hate to see him go, but I understand it. Nah, it's good for Phillips. It's good for the Dolphins. In the end, they get a third rounder for a guy that, and you don't know where you're going as a franchise. I'm happy for him. He doesn't have much of a shelf life, so he'll get to win now. So there you go. Big Johnson, exactly. It's the never-ending story stuck in the nothing. So, let's see. McD linked himself to the top 5 bust. Devin Jordan, Big O, if Ross was smart, he'd hire a former player like JT or Zach as vice presidents. Nah, Devin, that doesn't mean shit, dude. Who says that they're going to be any good at this job? That doesn't mean anything, dude. I just talked to you about Michael Jordan. Matt Millen. Matt Millen was a hell of a football player, bro. Hell of a football player. Like, you wanted to finish your championship, you had Matt Millen on your linebacking core, and you ended up winning. Like, that dude was a winner. And then he goes to the broadcast booth, and he couldn't say a wrong thing. He was the darling. He goes to Detroit. The rest is history. Magic Johnson ran away from the job. Dan Marino ran away from the job in 5 minutes. He went to the Senior Bowl and realized, oh, shit, this is like real work. No, I'm not interested in that anymore. I want to retire and chill out and relax. I'll come by and talk to the season ticket holders. I'll talk to a couple of sponsors. I'll sit in the booth. I'll give you my opinion during the game. But sit in a room and watch 100 cornerbacks and 100 quarterbacks and 100 guards and 100 wide receivers? Nah, I'm not interested in that. Travel all over the country, go time and talk and interview these kids? Nah, I'm not interested in that. So we have this tendency, Devin, of thinking that these former players are going to be gurus, and more often than not, like in the 90 percentile, great players suck. They suck at coaching. They suck at managing. They suck at owning. Great players suck. Elway won a championship, but he had to leave because he couldn't find a quarterback. He won because he signed Peyton Manning. Oh, wow. No brainer. Wow, that was really difficult. Let me sign one of the greatest. And by the way, when the one title they won it all on defense. Ain't that a bitch? Now, the good thing for Elway, at least he won a title. But he had to leave because he kept screwing up at his own position. His own position. John Elway could not identify a quarterback. Let me repeat that again. John Elway cannot identify a quarterback at the NFL level. He is a miserable failure at drafting quarterbacks. John Elway. So Zach Thomas or Jason Taylor, there is zero chance, pretty much, that they're going to be great at this. Because more often than not, they all fail, dude. They all fail. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I've seen it over the years. Most of them fail. Very few are. It happens. It happens. The Jerry West and the Ozzie Newsomes of the world, the Lenny Wilkins. It happens. Don't get me wrong. It happens. But it's more Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan and Matt Millen than anything else. That is usually what it is. And then your former great player, especially if he's your own, now you put him in a John Elway. Now you put him in a difficult position, and now you got to fire him. And now you're going to say, yeah, no, John Elway was a hell of a player, and he got us a championship, but man, he couldn't find a quarterback. Now he has that burden in Denver. Does he deserve that? No. And by the way, John Elway went to the minors. For those of you that don't know, he was running an arena team first. And then he built himself up to go, like, he wanted the job, but he didn't just take it flat out like that. He kind of prepped himself. And if I remember correctly, he ran an arena league team first for like a year or two, and then started to then get into the NFL and climb up and take over. So he kind of gradually worked himself into it. But I would tell you that more often than not, that will be a disaster for former coaches, Devin. Ty in the Bronx. Since 95, this team is worse than the Browns and the Lions. Yeah, we've gone in the reverse, for sure. J-Town says, let's take it one step further. I blame Goodell allowing all these incompetent owners to run franchises. Well, it's hard to find, it's people have money. You know what I mean? The Walmart people have money. They buy a team. It's just kind of the way it goes. We can't control that. You're not going to be able to also vent the owners and figure out who's a good football owner or not. That's hard to figure out, What else? Kevin says, I feel like Stephen Ross is Michael Madsen in Reservoir Dogs, and we're the cops tied to the chair, stuck in the middle with you. Yeah. Yep. No doubt. Nico Marcucci says, I'm with you, Big O. Gave up last year. No Sunday ticket, no travel, no merchandise. Done with Ross. Is done until Ross is gone. Thing is, we're stuck with Ross. We're stuck with Ross and his family. And then the line is, boy, I hope his daughter will do better. What else? John Padilla, Big O, my team, Lakers and Heat had a fun game last night. Yeah, that was nice. The Heat, they just don't have anybody to finish. We'll talk to Ira in a little bit. The Heat just don't have a guy. They don't have a star. It would help to get Powell back. The whole when you get Tyler back, it's going to change the dynamics of the team because he requires the ball in his hand. He's a detriment on defense, so it's going to kind of hurt. It's going to take the ball away from some people because it's not going to move around as much. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't. A lot of people think, it'll be better when you get Tyler back. I'm not so sure that it changes that much because there are dynamics that will take away from it because of who he is. Weird on that one. Weird. They have no stars on that team. So that'll be a major problem. We'll see if the way they want to play, they can mask it, but I don't know. Guys. Game? Yes, sir.
Not sure how accurate this is, but Omar did retweet it. I tried to do a little research. They're a part of PFF. It's called Philly in Philadelphia. It said Eagles are taking on just a little over $500,000 of the money Jaelen Phillips is owed this year. Dolphins are eating the other $6.04 million.
That makes sense. If you want the third rounder, I bet the fourth round was really the sticking point, and they wanted a third, and they said, well, you're going to have to pay the salary. And so that's basically what they've done. They've paid the salary, and then the Eagles pay barely anything because it's not like they have a ton of space. So I get it. I totally understand. If you want the third round pick, it is what it is, But don't worry, guys. They'll get a franchise player with that third round pick. He's going to change the fortunes of the entire team, I guarantee you. Hamster wheel. Get on. Climb on. Let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, Jamie says, do you see how many injuries Washington had last night? Daniels, Lattimore for the season, Luke McCaffrey. Yeah. Why was Daniels playing in a route? That made no sense whatsoever. Poor kid, dude. Poor kid. So I won't even see him against the Dolphins in Madrid because I am going to Madrid still. It's Madrid. The Dolphins are like the sideshow. It's not like I'm going there because of the Dolphins. Now, I'm going there because it'll be a great trip. And, okay, well, we'll visit the Dolphins, I guess. We'll go to the game. And I'm not even going as a media member. I'm actually going as a fan. Bought a ticket and everything. Just like a regular person. By the way, there's tickets for sale. It's not like sold out or anything like that. Like, you can get tickets. Okay? So it's pretty cool that it's not like if you want to go. It's still a good trip. So let's see, what else do we have? Any interesting questions? Our new coach will come from the Cyberdyne and Skynet. What else? The Blue Jays folded. I feel bad for the Blue Jays, man. Dodgers won, and it was one of the best World Series I have ever seen. I didn't stay up for the 18 innings. There's no way I was going to stay up for that. It's not my team, so it's not like I care. You know what I'm saying? My wife loves the Dodgers. So, and I know Lisa, a friend of mine, she loves her Dodgers. So I was rooting for the Dodgers for my wife and for Lisa. But I do feel bad for Toronto because they were worthy. They were worthy, dude. And the Dodgers bats, they have a great lineup, and that lineup disappeared most of that series. And somehow or another, they still found a way to win. And to end back-to-back games on double plays and all the wacky crap that went on, even at Game 7, how many times they had to get a guy out at home. I mean, just all the stuff that went on, the drama throughout that entire series. It was high level drama. I got to give mad props to that series. That was, I don't really enjoy baseball that much anymore because it's like a strikeout or a home run, and it's kind of boring to that level. But that World Series was fun, and I feel for Toronto, and I feel for the fans in Toronto or wherever in Canada that was rooting actually for Toronto. That was, man, they were more than worthy of winning, and they just couldn't get over the hump. What a shame, man. What a shame. What a shame. 105,726. How about that? The Dow is down 213 points. The S&P is down 4.5. The NASDAQ is barely up. All right. No other trades yet there, Sean? Not even in the NFL? Let's see. Worse than Ross. I heard that Ross is working on, well, I guess he erased it. Let's see. Just stop watching Dolphins football if you think there's no hope. Oh, I'll watch, of course, but yeah, I'm pretty much, yeah, there is no hope. Yeah, unless you show me something, I'm gonna not believe anything. You know, like I told you, I'm not getting on the hamster wheel again. Not doing it. Just not doing it. So, you know. But I'll watch it because I love the team, but I don't have any faith whatsoever that Stephen Ross will fix anything. And that's what he's proven to me over the years. So why would I think of now I'm hoping for dumb luck? Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, but I'm just not at a place where I'm in a bad place. Really, really bad place with the Dolphins. Absolutely bad place with the Dolphins. Never been there with any of my teams. You know, at least, you know, with the Marlins, I can tune them out completely because they don't even try. So they're not going to spend any money. They're not going to keep people. People will play like that dude that won the award now for the utility award that he played 7 of the 9 positions. That dude's doing a fantastic thing because eventually he'll play himself off the roster. A good team will pick him up next year close to the deadline because they need a utility guy like that. And he'll go there and, you know, but it's easy to not even pay attention to the Marlins because they don't even try. My Dolphins are trying. It's just they don't know what they're doing. That's all. You know. So, right, Don, in a short period, the Patriots were able to rebuild and become competitive, while once again, it's Groundhog Day for the Dolphins. That's it. That's exactly my point, my dilemma, where I'm at. I'm sure a lot of you are there. You know what I'm saying? Look, I understand the fragile fan that thinks like, oh, no, I got to reprogram myself. And no, I got to think that this is going to, no, they're going to fix it. I got to be hopeful that this and that. And I get that, but I can't do that. I can't do that when the person that constantly shows me incompetence is incompetent. It's just really, really hard for me to do that. I don't know about you guys, but it's really hard for me to just kind of, you know, reset now with this guy anymore. It's hard. I'm in a bad place. I'm in a really, really bad place, man. And I'm hoping that miracles happen because I need it to get me out of this funk that I'm in for the Miami Dolphins. You know? Anyway, Christian DiMartino, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. At least we don't have to watch Vrabel take the Pats to a possible division championship first year in. Oh, yes, we are in the same stratosphere as the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. A joke. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We are. That's where we're at, unfortunately. So I'm gonna need something to pick me up, and we'll see. But to sit here and just complain about the past and all that, because that's all shows are gonna do. That's all people are gonna be talking about. It's just boring, dude, because it's kind of what we've been doing for years and years and years. You know. So. Ryan says, I'm glad you shared that. I'm in a place I've never been before, either with the Finns. I have absolutely no hope in them turning around. I mean, I got to be honest, Brian. You know what I mean? That's how I am. I'm not going to play a shtick. That's not what I do. This is not what I do. It's not what I've ever done, not who I am. You know, I'm brutally honest. And I'm sure there's a lot of you that think the same way I do. Some of you aren't willing to admit it because you're afraid of how you'll react from it. You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather tell you like where I'm at, man. Like I'm in a really, really bad place. Sucks. It really sucks. By the way, I'd be remiss if I did not mention Mario Cristobal is as pathetic as it gets. It's a shame because he's a good man, good leader for young men, great recruiter, great worker, knows offensive line play, but not a good head coach. In fact, he's a bad one. When you constantly fail in these kind of spots, you're not good. And one of the things that I mentioned several times, hey, Sean, do me a favor. Give me a 15, 30 second. I want to clear my throat a little bit here.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
You know, when we talk about Mario Cristobal continues to be just an absolute disappointment. He does a lot of things the right way, his work ethic, leadership, recruiting, all of those things. But the one thing that he lacks is the most important thing is that game day. Game day, you've got to be a difference maker. You've got to be an innovative person. You've got to be able to change with the times. And you cannot coach in the same old fashion. And you've got to change. There's nothing wrong with having a strong offensive line and blocking and playing some bully ball, but you've got to also have some dynamic plays coming out of it, and you've got to change things up, and you don't. And then you play tight. And this happens constantly. And then your teams, they're undisciplined. And we've gotten to a point where Manny Diaz has a better ACC record than you do at Duke. That's not acceptable. And at the beginning, oh, well, it's not your players. Well, it is your players now, and they're still undisciplined. They still do stupid things. And that falls on you, dude. And, you know, Mario Cristobal talks and coaches in cliches. He's a robot. Everything he says, it's cliche city. Just listen to his answers. Instead of talking from the heart, it's really more about cliches and protecting on how to say things and all that. And, in the end, Mario Cristobal has the resources that no one has ever had in the University of Miami history. He has the NIL package that all the top teams have. He can match it. He's got the donors, so whatever package they come up with, $1 million, $2 million, whatever it is, they can match all that cash. So if you've got everything you need in NIL, you've got all the resources you need, plus your backyard is loaded with talent, your state is loaded with talent, what's the excuse? We talk about how we watch the Panthers gradually get better. Well, I just don't see it with the Canes. I see the same issues, different faces, different coaches, same issues under Mario Cristobal. Mario Cristobal, to me, has already proven here in year 4 he's not the guy. He's Dave Wanstead. He's Mike Munchak. Whatever. Just, he's not the guy. And Miami is stuck with him another year or two because they can't eat the rest of that salary, but it is what it is. So I know we've got to have some patience here and kind of hang in there. And as I told you, I do like the future because if they're committed, it'll pay off. It will pay off. There's no doubt in my mind that it'll pay off. So that's the good thing, that you're going to be able to attract a top-notch coach once you do part ways with Cristobal. But this is going to start getting rough for Cristobal. Cristobal is getting to a point now where he's now losing fans, people that don't believe in him. It's not that they don't believe in the program. I think people love the fact that the program and the administration is committed to winning. I think if you're smart, you're looking at that part as a real positive. We tried with Mario. We thought we maybe had the right guy, the hometown guy. It's not going to work. But the next year or two is going to be very important for Mario because he's going to have to do some incredible things to win people over again, or it's only going to get uglier and uglier down the stretch until he loses the job. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. By the way, the great people at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, they are proud sponsors of our program. We love Alan and all the great people at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. And they have got some amazing deals going on right now. Take advantage. Get on down there at 16100 Pines Boulevard. Go see my guy, Eric Stampone. They'll take care of you out there. They got a great service center, and they got an amazing selection. The Forester right now, you can get it for $257 a month, 2025 model, 3.9% financing. Also, they've got no payments till 2026 going on. The Outback, $237 a month right now, 2025 model, financing as low as 0.9%. That's awesome. The Crosstrek, they've got a large selection of Crosstreks, $197 a month, 2.9% financing, 0% also down, 0 down. So check it out. Different programs. The 2025 Ascent Premium, $367 a month, 2.9% financing. The Impreza, I always talk about the Impreza because as a father, I know when your son or daughter is growing up, they've got to have that first car. Or, if it's somebody that's learning how to drive, maybe it's an elderly person or somebody, kind of young, Impreza is so amazing. They've got it right now at $177 a month. That's super affordable, super reliable. And when we talk about customer ratings, Subaru is always number one, man. So check it out, 16100. And by the way, Pines Boulevard, and tell them that Big O sent you because you will get $500 off at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says Laurie and Sampson now have bought the Dolphins. Yeah. It's well, no, we've got an owner that'll spend. He just doesn't know how to spend. That's really the problem. Good morning, Big O. Can I ask you something regards to the Dolphins? Is Mike playing politics? Seems that way, making it too and Greer's fault? No, it's not. It's what I said earlier. I explained what's going on, dude. Okay. It's exactly what I told you. Why? What he did with Greer and McDaniel, it's actually the entire opposite of what people are thinking. Anyway, you know what, Sean? We're about to get Ira Winderman. Give me a quick break here. Let me get a quick break here, and we'll have Ira Winderman in just a couple of minutes.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new Integra. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
I actually have really some really good news. AC/DC is coming back for 2026 for the Power Up Tour, and they're going to be in South America, in Sao Paulo, on February 24. They'll be in Buenos Aires, Argentina, March 23rd, Santiago, Chile. They'll be March 11th, and in April 7th, they'll be in Mexico City. And then they come to North America, no Florida date. But I did catch them in Tampa, so I win. So now I have to travel for this one. Atlanta is August 27th. Okay. Pat in Asheville, you going to go? They're going to Charlotte July 11th. I don't know if Pat is watching right now. But I'm going to go to something like that. Maybe I'll go with you to Charlotte. I've been to Atlanta. I do love their downtown area. It's actually really, really cool. They're going to Vegas again, August 1st. You lucky bastards out there in Vegas. Madison, Wisconsin, July 19th. San Antonio, July 24th. Columbus, Ohio, July 15th. Denver, July 18th. Vegas is August 1st. San Francisco, August 5th. Edmonton, Alberta, August 9th. Vancouver, British Columbia, August 13th. Atlanta's August 27th. Houston, August 31st. Notre Dame. See a concert and touchdown. See AC/DC. Is that concert played like in Notre Dame Stadium? Touchdown Jesus? It's kind of an interesting place to go see AC/DC. Although the one, I got to tell you, the one concert I would love to go to is Buenos Aires. Argentina AC/DC, that is an insane asylum. Those people go nuts. I love the vibe from those concerts. St. Louis, September 8th. Montreal, September 12th. Toronto, September 16th, East Rutherford, New Jersey, September 25th, and Philadelphia, September 29th. Those are the dates for the upcoming AC/DC Power Up Tour. Ooh, gotta go. It was great. I saw them in Tampa, and Brian still sounded fantastic. The band was excellent. Love it. I'm going. I'm going again. I'm going again. I'm going again. Let's see what else. Philly's only taking 500,000 of the 6.5. Yes, we just talked about that. If you want the third round pick, that's how it goes, bro. You bought the third round pick. Anyway, would be very easy to play competitive football like the Pats. Simply the offense focus on running and simpler route concepts like they do with May. But our coach thinks he's playing a video game. Well, whatever. It is what it is. You know. What can I tell you, brothers and sisters? It is what it is. Let me get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. And we start off with the trade as Jaelen Phillips is moved to the Philadelphia Eagles for a third-round pick in 2026. Miami will now have 3 third-round picks in 2026. Miami is paying most of the salary that's left for Jaelen Phillips, while the Eagles are only carrying $500,000, but they do get a third-round pick. Miami will take on Buffalo on Sunday. We'll have our pre- and post-game for the deadbeat team. The Bills are minus 8.5 in the game, and the over and under is 50.5. Dolphins plus 350 on the money line. The Bills are minus 450. I would imagine that line will start getting bigger and bigger as a couple of moves are made. The Lakers last night outlast the Heat 130-120. Miami drops to 3-3 on the season. Triple J with 31 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. No Powell, no Tyler. Tonight, they're back in action, taking on the Clip Joint. The Clippers are favored by 8. The over and under is 228.5. Heat plus 250. Clippers minus 325 on the money line. Over the weekend, Mario Cristobal and the Canes do what they normally do. They choke, and they lost to SMU 26-20. Miami drops to 6-2, 2-2 in the ACC, and they drop to number 18 in the rankings. They will take on sorry-ass Syracuse, who lost to North Carolina this past week at 3:30, and that'll be at Hard Rock Stadium. The Inter Miami squad, they choked like they like to do sometimes in the first round. They lost to Nashville 2-1. The series is now tied 1-1. So Saturday, it's winner take all. He who wins advances. He who doesn't is a failure. We will find out. Saturday, Panthers defeated the Stars in a shootout, 4-3. Tuesday, the Panthers will visit the Oilers. 10 o'clock will be the face-off. Fort Lauderdale United drew with Brooklyn FC over the weekend on Saturday night, 1-1. Saturday, they go on the road to take on the Carolina Ascent FC. And by the way, if you want to get tickets and you want to see your Fort Lauderdale United try to challenge again for a title this year, you can buy tickets online at Fort Lauderdale, FTLUTD.com, and call them 954-241-0618. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Reach out to my friend Alan Blanco if your company, your corporation needs custom printing and embroidery. 786-618-1443. All right. Oh, I heard the pop, and there it is. There goes the weasel. All right, here we go. Let's talk a little basketball with the one and only Ira Winderman and our accurate Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
You know, I know they were missing LeBron last night, and Miami was missing Powell and missing Hero. Mm-hmm. Overall, I don't know if I could ask for much more from them, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? I was enjoying Triple J's aggressive nature that he has this year, that's kind of, like I told you, I'm into the development of the season, what's going on with individuals. And that has been the pleasant surprise early on, is watching the cojones that Jaquez is playing with.
Okay.
Yeah, he is aggressive. He is aggressive. He is fearless. Let's put it that way. And I like that.
I agree. There has been some really good youth and some really concerning youth. So it's sort of been a 50-50 proposition. So I wouldn't go all in overboard.
Fair stuff you're talking about from last night. No,
and even Jovic. I think when you look at the Heat's youth right now, Jaquez breakout season. I mean, going from sophomore slump to junior jump, all you can ask. Your favorite, Pelle Larsson.
Yeah.
He's going to have to stay in the rotation, Big O, even after Hero and Powell return, because he just gets stuff done. So you have 2 pluses there. I agree. On the other side of the ledger, Kel'el Ware, it's just interesting. You and I go back. So there's always going to be the Hassan 2.0 comparisons. And my gosh, it's feeling that way, including the way he's bumping heads with Spo right now, gets benched after the first stint. And even another guy I know you're high on, Nikola Jovic, you got to sort of man up, young man. You're a power player. You're 6'10". You have to play bigger. But this is the deal, and it might be the deal for your rebuilding Dolphins soon and everyone else. When you turn to youth, it's going to be hit and miss. You're going to hit on some, you're going to miss on some. So you keep grinding through the cycle. So right now, the Heat are sort of tied 2-2. You have Jaquez, you have Larsson positive, you have Ware, you have Jovic negative. We have to see now what Kasparis Jakachonis does. Maybe he swings the ledger. But that's the thing. If you throw enough youth into that pot and stir it around, you'll get at least something out of it. That's where the Heat are right now. They are what they are. They literally are a 3-3 team that looks like a 3-3 team that has gone 2-2 on youth, and now we wait to see if other strides can be made.
Yeah. And by the way, this means it's only 3-3. It's
Correct.
not like you're giving up on Ware or anything like that. This is all part of the growing process. That maybe they'll bump heads, and eventually, he'll figure it out, and it goes, or he goes the other way, and then you know that But we've got a whole season of figuring this stuff out with the kid. But yeah, there are bright spots. And like last night, I know the Lakers are better. You're on the road. It's, I thought they did all right last night. They fell behind.
Right there.
They came back and they put themselves in position. For what they are last night, I did not walk away like, oh my God, I was so unhappy with the performance last night.
You know what? The NBA is about closers. And if you look at the Heat's 3 losses this year, up 8 in Orlando, 1-point lead in San Antonio, within 2 last night early in the 4th. That's when your closers take over. Who is this team's closers? Tyler Hero and Norman Powell, who wasn't available last night. Tyler Hero and Norman Powell. You win with your closers. They had Luka Doncic. They had Austin Reeves. That makes the difference. On Thursday in San Antonio, they had Victor Wembanyama. That makes the difference. So I need to see this team with its closers. The Heat are playing the Clippers tonight. Maybe Norman Powell returns about 10 days out from Tyler Hero. So honestly, as we go through our accurate Pembroke Pines reports, the real Heat is not here yet. They will be here when Tyler is here. They will be here when Norm is over his groin injury. Then we can make judgments. But Big O, you don't win without closers in the NBA. And the Heat, their top 2 closers weren't on the court. So, yes, Bam's a grinder. I know you appreciate him for that, and he grinded last night. Jaime's a spark off the bench, game-high 31 points. He was the spark plug last night. But this is a league about closers. Give me the Heat closers, then I can assess where this might be headed.
Right, yeah. And by the way, I give Jaime credit because it was an efficient 31 points.
Yes. Whole season, yeah.
Yeah, whereas, like when Bam scored 31 the other night, it was on 27 shots, and he went.
He had to, right?
Yeah, and he went 4 of 13 from 3-point range. I was like, damn, dude, you shot a lot. Like, he never shoots that much from 3-point range. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Jaime is, like you're saying, his shooting percentage is off the charts. He knows what he is. He's playing in attack mode. He's getting downhill. And it's interesting how you contrast him with Bam. Jaime realized I'm not a three-point shooter. I ain't standing out there in the corner. It doesn't make me better. Bam is in that toying phase. He has a new toy. He wants to see what the three can be. I have no issue with that. He's made one now in 18 consecutive games dating to last season. I like that he's a threat. But you know what, Big O? The reason his shot totals are so high is because there's no Tyler, because there's no Bam. That will go down when those two return. So again, we have to wait on that. But like you like to say, for the last 3 or 4 years on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report, he is a super role player that needs to play in support. There's no one to support right now.
He's like an odd big man. Like he's so awesome in helping you in so many ways. But when it comes to scoring, you can't put the load on him because it's kind of odd. He's not really an efficient big man. You know what I mean? In scoring, he's not really as efficient as you would like.
He's not a high volume player, and he doesn't want those shots.
Don't give him volume. It's got to be more within the game, and that's when he's got to be in the flow of Tyler and Hero and that offense, and then he can play off of that, and he can play more garbage points and things like that.
He's a third option. You know what? We can't argue that anymore. We can sit here and talk about all NBA and maximum contract and all that. Offensively, he's a third option. When he gets back to that, he will be more comfortable in that starting lineup, and the Heat will be a better team. Let's face it. If you're saying we have to rely on Bam Adebayo for offense, you're not really going anywhere, and that's why they're 3-3 right now.
Now, when we do get Tyler and Powell back, that will change the way the ball moves around and who touches it. But I got to say, we talked about my boy Pelle Larsson. I got to figure out a way to keep him in there, but I got to figure out a way to keep Jaquez in there.
Oh, absolutely. That's not even a question anymore. He's your sixth man. Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is he cannot be forgotten all of a sudden. This guy is the perfect guy to play off of your 3-point guys. You must have this guy in there because he might be your best 2-point player at this point in time. So I just don't want him lost in the mix once Tyler and Powell are back. And then there's only one basketball, Ira. So I worry a little bit how everything will get kind of rejuggled again and how the ball moves around.
And I'll trust Eric Spoelstra on that. But if you're asking me, hey, with Jaime playing this well, with Pelle showing what he could be, with Tyler coming back, with Powell coming back, the 3 names I would give you for declining minutes are number 1, Khalil Ware. You got to earn it, buddy. He hasn't. Number 2, Nikola Jovic. You got to earn it. He hasn't. Fair. And I think to a degree, Davion Mitchell also. And let's face it, what Davion Mitchell was when they acquired him and what he is now is he's a supporting contributor, a defensive specialist. He can make the passes when you need him. He'll fill in when someone is off his game. So I say those 3 right now for having sort of a critical mass meter. Who might lose minutes? Ware better step up. Jovic better step up. And the reality is Donovan Mitchell is exactly like he got paid. 2 years, $24 million, a little bit below the mid-level exception, about the salary in the NBA of a 7th or 8th man. And that's what he is.
Yeah, no, and I love your description of Mitchell because he's a guy that I think if you give him volume shots, then now you'll start to expose him a little bit. But if you keep him at a minimum or at an average where he can, a manageable one, he's going to be really efficient, overall, and so I kind of like that too. I agree with that. I just hope that it does work out that way because I'm in, what Jaquez is doing, you have to give him a lot of love because, man, he got killed last year. He had a terrible year, and everybody talked about how terrible he was.
He was.
And then they followed up with, this is what I also heard throughout the offseason. Well, why is he doing so many commercials? He doesn't do anything on the court and all this kind of crap and all that. So he's getting even more criticism from, making a living like any of us would do the commercials. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden he compartmentalized all that crap and whatever he did in the offseason, refocus to come out like this confident. I like it a lot, man.
It's like so many of us in our 20s, we don't know who we are. And then it clicks and you figure out who you are. And that's sort of what happened to Jaime, and he just said, this is who I am as a player. This is who I am as a personality. And it all came together. And it's great to see. And that's why you go to college, to find out who you are. And he did the full 4 years at UCLA. And he endured his growing pains because he also endured them at UCLA. You get a more mature player. Let's contrast that. Khalil Ware comes out after 2 years in college, really just 1 year playing time at Indiana, 21 years old, is less mature. It's all coming at him. He doesn't know where to handle it. Contrast that. Pelle Larsson, full college career, comes in, knows who he is. Contrast that, Nikola Jovic comes in at 18 years old, still learning. So that's the thing. When you talk about young players, there are different degrees of young. Jaquez is a mature young player. Larsson is a mature young player. Growing pains still for Khalil, growing pains still for Nikola.
By the way, how about Larsson's vision? Passing. Huh?
He just, you know what? He's just the guy who comes in and has this energy and is willing to do anything and everything and throw his body out there. And he's moving the ball. And we saw that at those assists last night against the Lakers. He'll be a playmaker if you need it. He'll be a rebounder if you need it. He'll dive on the floor if you need it. You need that energy over an 82-game NBA season, and that's what he provides.
Yeah, I like it. So the one thing that you said, 10 days for Tyler?
We're getting to that point. Yeah, the return just after that Knicks game in New York, the Heat's prime appearance on in the NBA tournament. It looks like that right now. Again, we don't know, but he was out on the court. He's been taking shots. He's been working with Chris Quinn. They traveled him for a reason on this trip. Not to play, but again, to mesh him in, to integrate him into what they're trying to do. So, yeah, I don't think it's that far away. I would almost guarantee by the end of the month, Tyler will be back on the court. And that's still, hey, you still have a full 4-month runway with him to see what you can be, and at least a 2+ month runway when it comes ahead of the NBA trading deadline, which I want to get to in a second.
Okay. All right. So what do you think about the deadline? What do you think is going to end up happening?
There's a name out there, and I wrote about it in my Ask Ira, and it's been speculated, and it's Ja Morant, who's serving a 1-game suspension for mouthing off at his coach the other day. Not even the finger guns for those just listening and not looking to Big O right now. And Big O, this is not one I'm in favor of. I love an attacking point guard. They really don't have that. I love the dynamic presence of a player who has shown over his career he can be a superstar. Haven't really seen that from anyone else on this Heat roster. But, man, you talk about baggage. Like you pointed out, the finger guns and the off-court stuff, having issues with his head coach, not really getting anywhere. And I think he's lost through his injuries some of his explosiveness. Look, this is a Heat name, and I'm going to give you the comp. And you were here for that. And that's Tim Hardaway when Rick Adelman decided he wasn't a starter anymore at Golden State, and he was washed. Well, he was anything but washed when Pat Riley got him and brought him into the Heat during his first season in 95-96. Maybe that's the player. The trade would be Tyler for Ja, and you could work around all the other pieces that you need to, if you need to, any of them. I'm not saying that Tyler at his top, at his ceiling, has the same ceiling as Ja Morant. But, man, there are so many issues there. I don't think with young, impressionable players like we started our Accurate Pembroke Pines report today, with Jaquez, with Jovic, with Ware, with Kasparis, with the young players, do you really want the Ja influence in there? When Tim Hardaway came, it was more of a veteran team. You had this solid coaching of Pat Riley. I'm not in favor, and yet I would say this. I think this is going to become an ongoing talking point in our Accurate Pembroke Pines report, because I think the Grizzlies have to do something right now. Too much drama with Ja Morant in Memphis.
And, well, I got to ask this. If it's Tyler and him, because of all the baggage, then the prices come down, right? There's not going to be a lot more that you have to add besides Tyler, correct? Or
yeah, I think it would be pretty much even up. Hey, we have Tyler Hero. He's due an extension. We're not sure that's money best spent. You have Ja Morant. He's under contract for 3 more years at about the money we would wind up giving Tyler. So it really is even up. It's a fresh start for both. This is very much a Pat Riley trade. This is very much what he does. Bring him into our culture. Bring him in under Spo, the steadiness of 18 years of the same coach. Bring him in under the Godfather. I'll get him in order just as I have. You know, it's the Pat Riley Reclamation Center for Wayward Players, from Tim Hardaway to Anthony Mason. We've seen it over and over. maybe it's worth one more chance. I'll say this. John Morant at his best is better than any player on the Miami Heat roster right now. But when, Big O, is the last time we saw John Morant at his best? He scored 12 stinking points when his team was blown out by the Heat just over a week ago. That's the question I have.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if you're tied to it 3 more years, you better be rock solid that you have a superstar, because obviously that's what you desperately need. You know what I'm saying? But wow. Yeah, you better be sure about that. All right. What are you working on in the Sentinel besides all that that folks can check out?
You know what? If you go to the sunsentinel.com website right now, it's not a rerun. Khalil Ware v. Eric Spoelstra just reminds me so much, like I mentioned, of Spo versus Hassan Whiteside. And just be active. Be out there. Khalil was so awful in that first stint last night against the Lakers that he didn't get back in until 69 seconds remained in the third quarter. I know Spo's trying to make a point, and he has to. But Spoelstra's also trying to win games right now, and Khalil isn't happening. There's a lot of things you can do as a developmental program. You can work on his footwork. You can work on his rebounding, on his shooting, and his scoring. I don't know if you ever can inject a motor. And that's what Khalil lacks right now. And yes, he is country playing from Arkansas, and it didn't work out at Oregon for that reason, that they just couldn't get him going. It took Mike Woodson being on his ass every single day in Indiana with the Hoosiers to finally get something out of him. But this is a long grind, the NBA season. And if Eric Spoelstra has to push and prod, I'm pushing prod 82 times to get the most out of Khalil. At some point, you just say enough is enough. So the question for me, and I wrote about this at sunsentinel.com, is can anyone get the motor revving with Khalil where it stays revving? Or are we going to have that up and down ride through another season?
Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Ira, as always, thank you, sir. We will catch up next week.
Heading out to the Dodger Parade like 2 blocks away today. I'll catch you from home next week. Thanks, Big O.
By the way, for us old guys, this is a top 10 World Series of all time.
Oh, it was, and that Game 7 was one of the all-time greatest games. I kept putting on Twitter. It was bananas while I went back and forth. But you know what? That shows you that baseball at its best can be as good as any sport. There were more compelling moments in that 3.5 hours on Saturday night than sometimes you can see in a complete Marlins season. So, I mean, what we saw there, that was baseball at its best.
It was, and I got to tell you, I don't like this baseball nowadays. It's all strikeouts and home runs.
Yes, all or nothing.
Yeah, it's
the NBA three-pointer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I used to love manufacturing runs and base stealing and guys that can bunt and people that can hit to opposite fields, because when you needed to hit an opposite field.
And you know what? I don't want to get off topic, and that's what the Blue Jays couldn't do. They kept having runners in scoring positions. They couldn't advance the runner. Vlad Guerrero leads off of the double, get the damn guy home. They couldn't do it because it's swing for the fences, and then some crazy Dodger guy runs over a teammate and gets it at the wall, and you lose the game because you couldn't play situational baseball. Totally agree with it, but man, was that compelling. It's one of the few times I said, football, don't need to watch, all about baseball tonight.
There's nothing like Lou Piniella falling asleep there on the bench, and they tap him, hey, Lou, what? Yeah, we need a hit, but we need you to hit it to the right field here to drive this guy in. And there's
one over. Yeah.
Just off the bench and there you go. Oh, you need an opposite. No problem. Bam. And everybody was taught that, it was just different, that there were more people that could all bunt. They could all hit opposite fields. They could all help manufacture runs. That's how I used to love baseball. But I got to admit, this is one of the best World Series I have ever seen. I didn't stay up for the 18 innings. I saw the rest of them. But man, what a great World Series.
No, I'm waiting for Game 8. It was that good. I agree.
It was good. All right, Ira, we'll catch up next week. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Bingo.
You got it. All right. Acura of Pembroke Pines. They are at 15601 Pines Boulevard. And we love Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto and Tony Stampone. They know how to get it done. And Mr. Zinn, of course. I wish Mr. Zinn would buy the Dolphins. Then I could get excited. You know what I mean? Because all his dealerships absolutely kick ass. I know if he owned the Dolphins, they would kick ass too, by the way. 4.9% financing for 60 months. We got that for the ADX, $269 a month. The Integra 2025 model, $269 a month. 3.9% financing for 60 months. It's the happy new model year sale going on right now. The RDX, my wife drives it every day. 2025 model, $389 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. The TLX, $389 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. And the sports one, check out the sports one, the sports package, TLX Sports Edition. I forgot what exactly the name of it, but it is ridiculous, folks. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you at Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Right. Thank you all as always. What else do we have? Yes, sir. What do we got?
Jordan Schultz.
Go ahead.
Jordan Schultz saying the Dolphins have been open to trading 5-time Pro Bowl safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, and there has been interest from multiple teams.
Okay. Dump them all. That'll be so fun watching McDaniel manage this as it gets worse and worse. It is fantastic. It's going to be hilarious. What else? Jimbo says, what ticks me off about keeping McD is we will lose the opportunity to see what Weaver can do with the team, and then he will leave and be successful somewhere else because we are holding on to this clown. This is why our owner is a clown, because after week 3, what you should have done right after that Bills lost, you had 11 days. You fire McDaniel because you know what he is already. You knew what would happen in the offseason already. And so you put Weaver in place and see what he does for the next 14 games. But, and you're right. And maybe Weaver goes on somewhere else to become a good coach, and then we lose out, and then we get whoever we hire now. And, it is what it is, dude. What can I tell you? I mean, it's where we are. It's who we are, Jamie Zori out in San Jose says, Big O, I just don't get it. Dolphin fans keep talking about how excited they are about feeling like Christmas morning and celebrating. There's nothing to celebrate. Why? Because you got some extra picks? Big deal, bro. What does that mean? None of that means anything, but that's why I put it out there. All the general managers, all the head coaches, and we all get crazy and celebrate and get happy that they fired them. First, we get excited that they hire them, and we come up with some angle we like about them, and then we eventually don't like them, and then they fire them, and then we get happy again because they're going to hire somebody new that we're going to be disappointed about every time. So it's just, it's just a hamster wheel over and over and over and over again, By the way, R&M Contractors, we love Ray and Mike. They do some great work. And with R&M Contractors, the other thing that they do is they sponsor our crypto segments. And right now, by the way, the market, it is down. It is down 196 points. The S&P is down 8. The NASDAQ is up about 0.5 point right now. And as for Bitcoin, Bitcoin right now is at 106.6. It even went into the 105s. Hope you bought some. Anyway, Michael Saylor bought some. He bought 397 Bitcoin today for $45.6 million. He bought it at $114,771 each. That's a lot more than what you can buy it for right now on the exchanges. He has a total of 641,205 Bitcoin for $47.49 billion at an average price of $74,057 per Bitcoin. Amazon is up, and if you're wondering why, Amazon has partnered with OpenAI on a $38 billion partnership because Amazon is going to be firing people left and right. They already are, and they are going to be pretty much run by AI. And they'll have a fraction of the employees that they have now, and their profits are going to go through the roof. And by the way, it'll probably be more of an efficient workplace too. That's the thing about AI. And ETF holders, by the way, I just want to talk a little bit about this because, again, not financial advice, but yes, you can buy MicroStrategy and you can buy any kind of ETF that you like out there for Bitcoin. But I want to remind you that ETF holders aren't real Bitcoiners. And if you can't own the Bitcoin, then it's not your Bitcoin. So you might end up taking some of the profits, a fraction of the profits, a percentage of the profits, but in the end, you won't own the Bitcoin. So BlackRock will eventually, or whoever else's ETF you're part of, will eventually own that Bitcoin and own what it will eventually be worth, which is a lot more than what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? So my suggestion to all of you out there, or any of you out there that are thinking about it, which is a great time right now, is own the Bitcoin. Don't buy it through an ETF. Own the real thing. Put it in a cold storage wallet. Keep it with 12 names, and that's it. Put it away. Just saying. It's the way to go, and I am not a financial advisor by any stretch whatsoever. But own the Bitcoin. Don't go through the ETF. And we thank Ray and Mike, by the way, R&M Contractors. Follow, by the way, on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island, RMC Fisher Island. You can check out their work through the roof, dude. It'll blow you away. They can do complete remodels for you, kitchen upgrades with appliances, waterproofing your terrace, your balcony. It's great for your condo and the flood test report. That way it drains properly and it doesn't affect your neighbors. Or if you have a second floor home, doesn't affect the rest of your home and all that kind of stuff. Very important, folks. Impact windows and doors. That's super important. Bathroom upgrades, floor restoration, maintenance. They do it all for you. Reach out to Ray or Mike. 305-345-3649. That's 345-345-3649 for R&M Contractors, and we thank them for sponsoring our crypto segments. Let's see. Lofi says, Jaelen Phillips, glad to see him get to play with Vic again and be on a contender. I'm happy for him in that sense too. Plus, you know, he's not going to have a long career, so good for him. He was wasting his career here, so good for him. He gets out of this place. Juan Cross says, Big O just bought the dip below 106. Dolphins and Canes may suck, but at least I have one Bitcoin. Wow. Dude, I envy you. Wow. Wish I could get there one day. One day. Be a long time from now, but one day. But nice job, Juan. I bought two, by the way. You know, not as much as you, but I bought. Nice job by you, man. Love it. Proud of you, man. Proud of you. So many of you can really set up your families down the line. Juan has set up his family down the line big time. Oscar says, wow, in all my years of listening to you on the radio and now on the internet show, I've never heard you so dejected, disappointed, and it sounds like you've finally given up on the Dolphins for good. I'm pretty close to that, yeah. Yeah, I have never been more disappointed and dejected and depressed about the Dolphins. I've never reached this point. I have zero interest getting on the hamster wheel again. Zero. It's going to be, I'm going to wait for you to actually do something for me to get excited or something. But I'm done. I'm done investing my emotions, and I'm done and showing any kind of trust or anything like that to them. Yeah. I do, Sonny, I have Ethereum. I like Ethereum. Yes, sir. But, it's different. I got it at $900 and $1,200 and $1,300. So, it's a little different than buying it here in the high 3s to 4. Your profit margin is going to be a lot different than mine. So I don't want to mislead you. But yes, I do like Ethereum, and it should climb. It should double from where it's at here. But yeah, definitely like Ethereum. 60% of stablecoins are on Ethereum. People are going to be using Ethereum left and right. And Ethereum will be used as money also, not just Bitcoin. So yes, I do like Ethereum. So it will go up. Yes, sir. No doubt, Sonny. If Amazon is successful with the transition, boy, others will follow. They're already following, Lofi. They're already following. Sports websites are going to AI, and they're eliminating writers. Be prepared. Luis Herrera, Big O, what should my coin? I don't understand what that means. Oh, with 20K, bro, get Bitcoin right now. Luis, Bitcoin. 20K on Bitcoin right now, dude. 20K, put it all on Bitcoin, my friend. All on Bitcoin. And get a cold storage wallet and make sure you stash it. Right now, do you realize that right now you are, with 20K, you can buy practically 20% of a Bitcoin? So if we're going to be at 1 million to maybe 1.5 million by 2030, look what your 20% turns into. So I don't know, man. It's up to you. You can turn the 20,000 into 200,000 to 300,000. Yeah, I'm going Bitcoin, dude. I'm going Bitcoin, and good luck to you, sir. Bless you. You've got $20,000 you can put into Bitcoin. That's freaking awesome. Let's see, what else do we have? Bitcoin, what should my percentage allocation with 20K in my disposal? The whole thing I'd put into Bitcoin. Nice and safe. This is how I feel about life, Big O. Well, I don't know about life. I'm good with life. I'm good with my Panthers. I'm good with Inter. I'm good with a lot of other things, but with the Dolphins, I'm not. Oh, and I'm not. I'm definitely like that about politics. I've given up on politics. We are done as a society there. We'll never fix our problems. That Democrats and Republicans are a joke. That will never be fixed. It's two lost parties. That's the other thing. Besides the Dolphins, I would say those are the two things. Because the third party stuff will never happen in my lifetime. That takes forever to develop. So it is what it is. Dolphin Dave says, come on, Big O, get pumped about the Dolphins. We trading everyone. Yeah, that doesn't get me pumped up about anything, man. So unfortunately, I don't feel it. AC/DC in Brazil. Yeah, that would be fun. The only problem with Brazil is, and it's not my problem, but if you go with younger people, that is like the capital of kidnapping in the world. Sao Paulo, Brazil. So they kidnap somebody there like every 30 minutes. So be careful, by the way, if you're going with young people. Okay? They don't want us old people, but they somehow or another are taking young people over there. So be careful when you go to Sao Paulo. Dress like a bum when you go to Brazil. Don't wear any jewelry or anything like that. It might be a fun place to visit. Country's got everything, but it's also got a lot of hardship and a lot of bad stuff going on. So be very careful in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Number 1 kidnapping city in the world. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Brett Dodger. I'm equating being a Dolphin fan with a Panhandle DQ hot dog. Yes. It's about the same. Yep. If Ross has the balls, the next coach he should hire should tell him that you are here to coach and that's it. You know. Robert says, miss you on QAM because I am nostalgic for the old days, but 100 respect you going on your own and not refusing to ever be a puppet to anyone or any corporation. That's just my style. You know, I wasn't a puppet to them when I was there. That was my problem. I don't even know how I lasted 30 years in radio. 30 years. I don't know how I lasted that long, to be quite honest. In my style, I don't know how I lasted 30 years. Because I don't play ball. So, you know, most people, they will play ball one way or the other, but not me. So yeah, that was the amazing part, that I was able to last 30 years. Yeah. I'm the first American born in my family. I want to go to Colombia to visit where my family is from, but Trump is catching beef with these countries. Yes. Yeah, he is. But if you go to Colombia, speak Spanish, bro. Habla español todo el tiempo. That's it. And don't go overdressing either. And you'll be cool. You'll be cool. This is the reason why, by the way, I'm going to get a second passport. To have an option, to have another country to go to just in case for anything that, you know, crap hits the fan. And if I want to travel around, I can use a second passport where if the first one is not being looked at in a certain way, you can use a second passport to travel around and then you don't get the nasty eye. That's all. Because I know we haven't created, you know, with the orangutan in place, we haven't created good PR with like a lot of countries. So I get it. So I'll speak Spanish, but they'll know I'm a gringo. Try to hang around with some other people, and try to hang around with somebody that's from there too. That also helps. So there you go. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. I guess he saw Bella, said it's the best. Oh, you give the best and most fun interviews. Thank you. Bella Hara, by the way, the goalie for Fort Lauderdale United, gave me this hat on Saturday when I was there at the game. So that was very cool and very nice of her. This is one of the new ones. It's actually badass. Really like it a lot. And so I told her, thank you, and this will be my new studio hat now. And by the way, if you want to buy this hat, you can go to Fort Lauderdale United FC shop.com. They've got this hat and all kinds of others. And check it out. And support your Fort Lauderdale United. Ha. There you go. Oh, man. I know I shouldn't have admitted that I'm in such a dark place, because that'll turn people off, especially those crazy, hardcore, fanatical Dolphin fans, because they can't hear anything negative about their team. They kind of like, you know, it's over. Like, you're evil if you do that. Pat in Asheville says, please kidnap me. Hey, Pat, since now you're here, were you listening to me earlier? AC/DC is going to Charlotte. Are you going to go? Are you an AC/DC guy? Because I don't know if I don't know if I could drag my wife out there, and I don't know if my man Grieper is going to go. I don't know what city he's going to go to, because that crazy bastard's also thinking of other concerts too at the same time. So Atlanta or Charlotte might be targets. I don't know. Are you going, Pat, to AC/DC next year? Need to know, because maybe that might be a plan. Maybe I go with you over there in Charlotte. and go see, because I definitely am going to see AC/DC one more time. Although Vegas, I love going to Vegas. I get in trouble. He says tickets are on Friday. Depends on price. Rush was I know Rush was way too expensive. I want to go to Rush, but man, I'm hoping that as time goes on, maybe some of the prices will drop for other reasons, and maybe we are able to sneak in. Who knows? Who knows? Yes, I do have many Panther hats, Brett. Yes, I have plenty of Panther hats, and I'll be wearing them now as the season goes on. Definitely be wearing them a lot more than Dolphin hats. That's for sure. I don't think I should wear a Dolphin hat for the remainder of the year. Even on pre and post game shows, I'll wear Bitcoin hats or something. You know, I wear my Fort Lauderdale United hat. Wear the hat of a winner. You know, something like that. Brett says, I'm glad I saw Rush a few times when they were in their prime with that original lineup. Me too. I'm with you. I saw Rush many times, and I'm glad I saw them many times. I'm glad I saw them the last time too, which wasn't in here. It was in Tampa, actually. The last time in their last tour, they did not go to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, whatever. They went to Tampa, and I went to that one. And saw many times over all the way back to Exit Stage Left back in the 80s, and Signals, and oh God, what's that one with Red something? Oh man. And then there's another one of Tattoos and Something Tour. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, I gotta look it up. But yeah, I remember seeing him several times, and I'm really grateful that I was able to see him several times. Even got tear gassed in one of the concerts there at the Hollywood Sportatorium, the Exit Stage Left tour. We got tear gassed. That was fun. Red Barachetta is actually my favorite song, Drew. That's my favorite song, Red Barachetta. Love that song. Pat says, I was visiting a relative in a hospital and had my Dolphins water bottle. Food service guy saw it and said, oof, I'm sorry, man. Oh, man. This is going to be this down the stretch is going to be a disaster. It is going to be an absolute disaster. And they got to play the Bills. By the way, did Jaelen Phillips move the line at all? Because it was 8.5 this morning. I haven't checked it after the trade. Let me see if the line has gone down at all after the trade. I mean, gone up after the trade. Where are we at? Yeah, it's at 9 now. Yeah, -9 now. See, you could have gotten a bargain -8.5 for the Bills. Now you got to give up 9. Do you think they'll win by 10? Oh, yeah. Easily. They'll win by 10. So easy. All right. Let me give you a little music. Always love talking a little music on the show. Since we were talking about AC/DC, might as well let's get to birthdays. Musicians born on November 3rd. Who was born on November 3rd? Probably Stephen Ross, since we're talking about turds. Mick Thompson, born in 1973 on this date, lead guitarist for Slipknot. Let's see who else is celebrating a birthday. Ian McNabb, songwriter, musician, previous frontman of Icicle Works. From a whisper to a scream. Let's see who else. Adam Ant, born in 1954. Stuart Goddard. Stand and deliver your money or your life. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Oh, that's it. John Barry, composer, conductor. He has 11 James Bond film scores from 63 to 87. And he also wrote Academy Award-winning scores for Dances with Wolves and Out of Africa. So there you go. And he passed away in 2011 at the age of 77. There we go. That is musicians. Now let's go with other famous people celebrating birthdays. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means, unfortunately, they are no longer with us. Football Hall of Famer Bronslew Bronco Nagurski, born in 1908. Baseball Hall of Famer Bob Feller, born in 1918. Actor Charles Bronson, Death Wish, born in 1921. Actress Lois Smith, born in 1930. She is 95 today. Bless her. Still around. 95, dude. That is awesome. 88. Michael Dukakis was born, the Democratic presidential nominee. Born in 33. He is 92 today. Musician Nick Simper from Deep Purple, born in 45. He is 80 today. Magazine editor Anna Wintour, born in 49. She is 76. Comedian actress Roseanne Barr, born in 52. She's 73. Comedian Dennis Miller, born in 53. He's 72. Actress Kate Capshaw, born in 53. She's 72. Actor Dolph Lundgren. If he dies, he dies. Born in 57. He's 68. Football player and fake-ass activist Colin Kaepernick, born in 87. He's 38. Everybody else is kneeling. Everybody else is out there protesting. And where was the dude? Nowhere to be found. What a weak-ass activist I've ever seen in my life. A real activist, Elizabeth Smart, born in 87. She's 38. She's got more balls than Kaepernick ever will have. TV personality Kendall Jenner, born in 95. She's 30. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, we do. Nicole Savoy turns 40. Grand Metalik turns 37. Cameron is 38. And Andrade is 36 on November 3rd, 2025.
All right. Let's see. Allegiant is a great sounding stadium for a concert. Oh, in Vegas, you know, I have not been there for a football game or a concert. I've been to Vegas several times with the stadium right there, but did not go in. So now you're telling me, I mean, it's Vegas, Brian. So like, I'm already planning a Vegas trip as it is. And I'm waiting for all the concerts to kind of lay in place so I could go out for a week. My wife is like, you want me to go out for a week? And I go, yeah. I don't know if I could take that many days off. I go, well, you know, if you got to fly back, you got to fly back. But I ain't flying back, Jack. That's all I told her. I don't go out west for a day. I did it once for a friend of mine that he wanted to see Kiss. And we literally bought tickets for Vegas and LA back-to-back nights. And we flew into Vegas, then flew to LA, and then flew home. Like crazy shit. Like I'd never do that again. It was great because I saw Kiss 2 nights in a row. You know, I can't complain. I'm blessed. Okay? And it was on him. I didn't even pay for it. So it was great. I mean, I'm not going to complain. But when I go personally out there, I like to stay out a week. If I go to Vegas or LA, when you go to Vegas or LA and you're a music fanatic like I am, you don't go there for a day or two. That's a waste. You go there for a week because there's going to be a whole bunch of shows. You know what I'm saying? And I'm already with No Doubt in Santana that week. So I'm already knocking it out with 2. No Doubt in the Sphere and Santana. Boom. Okay. Now I got to add another concert or 2 for the week. Then I can be out there. Or 5. Who knows? But I've got to have multiple concerts if I'm going out to Vegas or LA. It's the law. As Nino Brown would say, it's the law. Let's see. Dolphin Dave says, Big O, thanks for your show. I don't agree with you on everything on Dolphins, but really respect your opinion. Thank you, sir. Have a fantastic day. No rush without Neil Peart. That's all right. I mean, I've seen him with Neil Peart, and I don't. So far, I'm not going to this tour yet because I can't afford to go to this tour. It's way too expensive, dude. But who knows? If something happens, prices drop or whatever, I would have no problem going to see it. She's very talented, filling in for Neil, and I still get to see Getty and Alex do their thing. So, you can't really replace Getty, but at least you can get by without Neil and still sound good. And by the way, she's super talented, so I have no problem with that. Let's see what else. I saw Rush at the Counterparts tour in '94 at the Miami Arena. Great show. There you go. Let's go with music history. What happened today? Because I know you're all wondering what the hell happened on November 3rd in music history. I know some shit went down, right? Well, yeah, in '72, Carly Simon and James Taylor got married, forming a musical power couple not seen until Jay-Z and Beyonce tied the knot. The marriage lasted 11 years. During a concert in '77 in London, Elton John announced his retirement from live performances. And since 1977, Elton John never performed again. He had a goodbye or end of the road tour that had lasted like 4 years. In '79, everybody's talking about pop, pop, pop music, pop, pop, pop music. Boogie with a Suitcase. Don't leave it at the disco. Forget about the Rat Race. It hit number 1 in the U.S. M is the British electro musician Robin Scott. In '85, with hit songs like In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins and Smuggler's Blues by Glenn Frey, the Miami Vice TV soundtrack was number 1 album in America. And do you know why the Miami Vice soundtrack was number 1 album in America? Because the Miami Vice TV series is the greatest soundtrack on television history. Period. End of story. There's no discussion. There's no arguments. There's no nothing. There has never been, and there never will be, another television series with better music than Miami Vice. Over. Done. That's it. Okay? The brothers on that show where they went around and chased around some haunted stuff. I'm forgetting. They had a great soundtrack because they had a lot of classic rock. But Miami Vice had all kinds of music, and it was just there's no TV show. None. Nada. Nay, will ever come close to Miami Vice. They spent so much money to make sure they had the top music. In '92, Sade released her 4th studio album, Love Deluxe. It features the singles No Ordinary Love, Feel No Pain, Kiss of Life, and Cherish the Day. In 1990, Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice became the first rap song to top the U.S. singles charts. In 1990, EMF releases Oh, You're Unbelievable in the UK. It's a big success, peaking at number 3, but does even better when it's released in the US when it hits number 1. Oh! In 92, Bon Jovi released her 5th studio album, Keep the Faith. It features the singles Keep the Faith, Bed of Roses, In These Arms, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, I Believe, and Dry County. In 98, Alanis Morissette released her 4th studio album, Supposed Former, Infatuation Junkie, and it features the singles Thank You, Joining You, So Pure, and Unsent. In 2001, Mary J. Blige, she's so awesome. Her Family Affair hits number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for the first 6 weeks. It's the singer's first single to top the charts. Super talent. Let's see what else. One more. In 2013, the first ever YouTube Awards were held in New York City. The event featured Eminem, Lady Gaga, MIA making live music videos directed by the awards creator Spike Jonze and others. Eminem won the Artist of the Year, while Taylor Swift's I Knew You Were Trouble took the YouTube Phenomenon Award. Let me see if there's any birthdays that weren't on the other list. Nick Simper, bassist for Deep Purple, is 80 today. And let's see. Nope, it looks like that is it. That is it for music history, folks. There we go. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo anytime you're watching, listening, and we always appreciate it. Thank you all out there. You can always send in your questions, comments, insults, compliments, all kinds of stuff. We are back to 107.1 now. So it is starting to climb a little bit. Oh, what else do we have here? Big O, who was your favorite radio guy you've ever worked with in your 30 years? Ed Kaplan. Very easy answer. Ed Kaplan. Ed Kaplan was just the best. And Ed, if you're out there, I doubt you're watching or listening. I'm sure you're just enjoying life and gambling your guts away. But he is one of the most decent human beings. Gave me an opportunity when I was doing Spanish radio. I was working at Radio Acción 8:30 AM. I was doing La Ensalada Deportiva from 9 to midnight. And I was in a studio, and Ed Kaplan was in the other studio, and we had a producer that was right in the middle of us. And so his producer was in the middle of us. My producer actually was in my booth with me running, but he was like on the other side because it was a small studio. We were bought by Paxson Broadcasting, and they had Zeta and Love 94 and W 940 wins. Where's my 940 wins mic flag? Oh, here it is. All right, now I'm knocking everything down. My 940 wins mic flag when I was at 940 wins. And so I started getting work there, and Ed started using me as fill-in when he would start missing. And so I was like maybe 5th or 6th in line to fill in. It would take a few people to turn down the job for it to get to me, by the way. But as the time went on, I became the first option. Okay. By the time the second year was done, that I was popping back and forth from doing both and doing shows and doing heat broadcast, pre and post, and all that kind of stuff for 940 wins and all that, Ed made me the first option for filling in for him, actually. So I ended up climbing the ladder and being in front of everybody. So it was just one of those things where, and we did shows in 2 different ways. Okay. It had nothing to do with like I followed and did, my shtick the same way he does his shtick. No. I did my way and he did his way, and and by the way, neither one of us was shtick. It was just kind of who he is as a gambler and who I am as a sports fan. And so, but nobody. I'm so grateful to Ed Kaplan because he's kind of the one that ended up giving me those opportunities that then led to filling in for an IOD in Sports Talk and IOD, which was like the first sports talk show for us down here in South Florida, where it was Mad Dog and Bo Camper and Joe Z and all that. And again, I was like maybe 8th in line. Okay. So if Mad Dog wasn't going to do it that night or whoever, I mean, like a bunch of people, I never climbed that ladder, by the way. This thing ended quickly. By the time I got to it, it was in the back end of it. It was almost done at that point because QAM was taking over at that point as the sports station. So Ed Kaplan is, you know, the best. Just the best human being, awesome person, great broadcaster, loved his style, different than mine, different than everybody else's. But that's what made Ed, man, you know, and Ed was on every night till the last West Coast score. So the other day when that World Series game ends at 3 a.m, Ed Kaplan is on till 3 a.m, finishing up. And whenever that game ended, he gave you all the stats and who won and on the betting end and the streaks. And, you know, and if you were a gambler, you were so lucky to have Ed Kaplan around because he gave you all the stats you needed to kind of get an edge on whatever you were trying to gamble on, you know? So it would be Ed Kaplan would be number one. Yeah. That would be my guy. So there you go. What else do we have? Stan Major was obsessed with Miami Vice, which was a great show. I think Stan had a Don Johnson blow-up doll. Phil Collins and Glenn Fry, yes. Big O, you worked with my cousin Chambi. Oh, yes, of course, yes. He worked with me over in Radio Acción. Yes, he's such a good dude. Chambi is like great people, man. Great people. Good human being. Devin Jordan, Mad Dog. Yeah, Mad Dog was a good dude, man. Definitely a good dude. But I didn't have the interactions with Mad Dog that I did with Ed Kaplan. It's different. You know what I'm saying? What else? I think the Dolphins are going to give Buffalo a good game, and then they lose 45-10. What years did I do the Miami Heat postgame? Oh, my God. It was early 90s. I want to say 92, 93, 94, something like that. 95. In those days, I was doing English and Spanish. Yep. Doing both, actually. So, yeah. Yeah. I was working at Wins. I think it was, like probably 90, maybe 93 to 95. Something like that. Because like by 96, I took off to San Francisco. In 97, I came back to QAM because then I did the World Series year and all that. So, yeah, I want to say it was like 95, 94, 93. I bounced around doing Spanish and English pre and post for the Heat. And I did Canes, too, a little bit also. I did Canes, too. I helped out a little bit in the Canes. Yeah, I remember that. Long time ago. Pat Nashville sending a cool link, a YouTube song. Okay. I will check it out. Thank you, sir. Alf is in the house. If I made trades like this in my career, the SEC would have flagged me for investigation. Big O, who's the worst radio host you work with? Who's the worst radio host I work with? Who would it be? Man, I'm trying to think of somebody that was just terrible to work with. I had bad experiences with some ex-players that I had to do post games with because they were lazy. But I don't want to blame those guys for that. I'm trying to think of who was like a really like a bad host that I didn't enjoy working with. I have to think about that. I don't know. I mean, I had my run-ins with people, but I don't know if it's like something that I dislike working with the person. There's got to be somebody. I'll think of somebody. John says, I've been following you for almost 2 decades now, even when I was a delusional youngster hoping Tannehill could be something. Thanks for your years of service and dedication to Miami sports. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. That's very nice. What happened to 12-10 the man? Shitty ownership, bro. When you got shitty ownership, you're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? There you go. There you go. That's a good one. There you go. Crap-out-of-you'd. Yes. Tony Crap-out-of-you'd. There's a lazy-ass, no-talent broadcaster right there. Tony Crap-out-of-you'd. Okay? There you go. That's the perfect guy right there. That's the worst person I've ever worked for right there and worked with right there. There's a dude that just, wow, zero talent and full of bullshit ego and hot air and lazy as a mofo, dumb as bricks. So yeah, that would be the guy. Tony Crap-out-of-you'd. That would be the clown right there. That fool. That idiot. There you go. So there you go. What else do we have? Big O, is it cool seeing the film Miami Vice in its own backyard? There were always production crews all over, and that's cool ass with Testarossa out front. Yep. I was an extra in one of them. I remember there in a Grand Prix Miami scene. I was an extra. I don't think you can see me in the show or anything, but because I was in the crowd. But I remember, and I still have the little pass that they gave me for being an extra and that you had to hold with you just in case if people were checking if you belonged on the set and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that would probably be it. That was it. I remember that. Every time I hear Steely Dan do it again, I think of Fast Eddie Kaplan. I actually think of Shaggy. Mr. Lover Lover. Oh, God. Mr. Lover Lover. Oh, God. Mr. Boombastic. I'm a fantastic. He used to play that all the time. Every night, Ed Kaplan would play Mr. Boombastic at one point or another as his rejoiner, okay? Or his producer, whether it was Picari or whoever it was that was his producer at that time. And so every time I hear Shaggy and Mr. Boombastic, it reminds me of Ed Kaplan. Every single time, dude. Every single time. So, you know. Big O, have you ever seen One Battle After Another yet with Leonardo DiCaprio? So good. No, I have not. I have not. Yes, sir. What do you got?
We have a Woj bomb.
Well, what do we got?
He was ejected for berating the officials from the stands and was forcibly removed by security, the St. Bonaventure GM, Adrian Wojnarowski.
All right. That's awesome. That's fantastic. He loves his school, bro. You know, it's like I love my Dolphins, and they have just like gutted me, bro. Absolutely gutted me. Really gutted me like never before. All right, we thank Sean Stanley. We thank, of course, Ira Winderman. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. We shall see you tomorrow. He fell. Same time, same place, same bad channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.